Hey, hello. Fun to write adventure. First time see you here. How are you, man? How is the video and audio? All perfect. Excellent. Thank you very much. You're the first one, and I'm asking now. Oh, Richard, nice to see you again. How are you? Video perfect and sound the same. Excellent. It looks like the internet connection this Sunday is way better. How are you doing, guys? New member for to write adventure. Where are you from? Romania. Okay, you're my neighbor. Excellent, guys. Today's topic is going to be about motorcycle traveling abroad. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna have my usual speech. I will expect your questions. Salvadore Diella, hello from Honduras. Video and audio top. Excellent. Nice to see you again, Salvadore. Today I'm not gonna talk anything. It will be Q&A, which is mean that feel free to ask your questions on the topic motorcycle traveling abroad. I'll be glad if I can answer it. And never forget that the questions that you might have might be also questions to many people that will watch the stream after that. After the stream is finished, I will convert it to a normal video and it will be on the channel so everyone could watch it and eventually gain some knowledge or important information. So anything that you want to discuss as a question or different topics, feel free to do it. I'll depart on the 20th of November, on Wednesday, actually. On Wednesday, after 3 days, 2 days, actually. Hello, Nikolai. Nice to see you again. Yeah, 2 more days, because Wednesday, I'll depart early morning from here, so 2 more days, Monday and Tuesday, and then I will fly. And then I will have like 2 days to get there, long. First, I'm gonna take the train from Varna to Sofia, which is like 8 hours and something. Then from Sofia to Madrid, I'm gonna have 3.5 hours, almost 4 hours flight to Madrid. Then I'm gonna have like 1 day to wait in Madrid, and on the next early morning, like 12 midnight, something like that, I will fly to Bogota, Colombia, which will be 10.5 hours flight. So it's a lot of flights, a lot of transportation time, but nothing I can do about it. And once I arrived in Bogota, I have to find another one internal flight to Cali, Colombia. So you'll be all together 3 different flights and a lot of time. Finally, it's there, almost there. Albany, good evening from London. Good evening to you as well. Salvatore Diella, your entire gear in one baggage. Yes, in my entire luggage is in one, my saddlebag, the horseshoe saddlebag that I have. Inside, I'm gonna have my riding pants, my riding boots, all the clothes that I'm gonna need, my helmet, gloves, everything that I'm gonna need to ride a motorcycle there. Only the jacket I will wear on me. Everything else will go in the saddlebag. On the side of that, I'm gonna have my tank bag with all the camera gear that I have to film my videos, which is mean one DSLR, one GoPro, not GoPro DJI, but action camera, a few microphones, and a few more spares. But that's everything that I'm gonna carry. The weight of the entire luggage that I'm gonna have once I arrive there and remove the helmet and pants and everything from it will be around 10 kilograms, maybe less than 10 kilograms. I think that should be more than enough. I'm not gonna carry any tent or anything like that. All right, guys, any questions? Let's start with the serious topic, motorcycle traveling abroad. If you want to ask me something, go ahead. Richard, on the road, if no tire soap, what is the best lubricant for your changes? Water. Water. The best is to have some tire soaps, but if you don't have, just water. Water will help at least a little bit. But of course, the best will be to have some kind of lubricant. Usually, I have a very small container, pulverizator, small like this, which is from some kind of, I don't know, perfumes or something, very small, filled with soapy water. And it's more than enough for at least 3 tire changes. And I always carry with me in my pack with the patches and everything that I carry for the tire changes. So because this will work the best. If you don't have anything, at least water, but it will be very difficult only with water. No questions. You're too quiet tonight. So we have fun to write. Richard, Salvatore, Nicolai, and Alban. 5 people. All right. Maybe more will come. Don't be shy. What are my thoughts on airbags? Airbags are probably the best solution from safety point of view. 2 problems I found so far. First is that they're very expensive, around 700-800 euros. But let's assume that we have enough money because, of course, nothing worth more than our health. The second problem that I see with these airbags is that this is another one additional layer to carry with you all the time. And even though it might sound like nothing, but when you have to spend so many days riding on different riding conditions, to have another one layer on the top, it will be not so easy sometimes. But I still believe that this is probably the best solution, safety solution that you can have, especially the new models that are with some kind of gyroscope inside. You don't need even to attach it to the motorcycle. I might have something like this in the future, but so far I feel it a little bit more than I would like to have with me. I already have enough layers, and another one on the top, especially in the hot days, will be just too much. But it's, from safety point of view, it's probably the best. Alban, I'm driving, so only listening to you guys. Okay, excellent. Thank you very much for coming, Alban. Even when you're driving, I hope that many people will come and we'll have some interesting questions here. Busy London. Driving. Tenere Traveler, R28mm fat bar conversion worth it? Standard on the Himalayan 450. It's a standard on the Himalayan. Yeah, it's definitely worth it. Once you change from 22 to 28mm handlebar, you'll feel your motorcycle much more stable. You'll have a better connection with the front wheel, and it will give you the sense of more stability, if I can say it this way. Taxi driver, black cap. Oh man, I wish you good luck. A lot of money and not so much work. So it's definitely worth to change from 22 to 28mm. It's good that the Himalayan has it as original. The Tenere also comes with a 28mm, which is a big plus. On the old Tenere it was 22, and when I changed it to 28, huge difference. Really different motorcycle. So for everyone who hasn't done it, please do it so you can thank me later. And many people are confused. They think that if they change the handlebar, they have to change everything. But the 28mm are only where the triple clamp is. On the top where the handles are, it's again 22mm. So you don't need to worry about your throttle, the grips, and all the controls that you have there. Richard, again, at what point does filming your trip became an inconvenience? So far, it's not a problem for me to write and film the trip, as long I don't need to stop, remove the camera, point it on different position, go in front of the camera, stop and take it again. Sometimes I do it, But if I have to do it very often, or if I have to carry 3, 4 different cameras and plan the whole trip because of filming, then it's already a different story. So you have to write or film. To write and film, it's not going to be perfect right, and it's not going to be perfect film. I know that if I want to have a video that will be more watchable, I have to pay more attention on the filming. But to be honest, guys, I prefer to enjoy the ride, to enjoy my time, to enjoy the trip that I have planned, to see everything that I can see. And on the second position is the filming. So on some stage, as you already pointed, it became not so comfortable. But at what point, I don't know, maybe when you have to think more about filming than riding, then it's already a problem. Salvatore Diela, will we have shorts on your trip, or will we have to wait until publish your full videos? Don't worry, Salvatore, I'm gonna upload shorts almost every day. At least once per 2 days, I'm gonna have a short updates from the trip, how everything is going, where I am at the moment, what are the problems, or if everything is all right, of course, trouble free at this moment. So I will definitely keep you update every 2-3 days, at least 3-4 times per week. On the second channel, Motorcycle Adventures Travel Videos, I will upload these short updates. Of course, the long episodes will come only when I get back home, when I have time to sit at the computer and edit it. And this is another one of the reasons that Richard just asked before, when the filming became uncomfortable or inconvenient. It's just because of that. I don't want to spend so much time sitting somewhere editing videos instead of relaxing, walking around, seeing attractions, or riding. That's why I prefer to film everything now, but edit it and upload it later when I have this chance. Also, if I want to upload edited videos while I travel, as most of the travelers do, I will definitely need a computer with me and a lot of time. So if the trip now I have planned 3 months, if I have to upload videos, let's say twice per week, I should extend it to at least 4 months to have another spare month and spend it only sitting in hotel rooms and editing videos. That's why I prefer not to do it. Albany, even when you're driving, you have a question. Have you ever thought about starting tours or ex-Balkans or any other countries because of your experience? I think that will be amazing. What is your thoughts about it? Have you ever done any? No, I don't have any plans to start such a trips. Alban, I'm really sorry about it, but it is not for me. It's not that I cannot do it. Of course, I can do it, but it will be too. It's not going to be that interesting for me, and I have to be responsible for so many people to have their nice time. But for me, it will be converted like a real work, and I don't want to do it. I'm really sorry. I understand that many will like it to have it, but forget about it. I'm not going to do it. Tenere traveler, Richard, peak advisor, sunglasses, or tinted visor? Sunglasses. I will say sunglasses. And the best, of course, will be integrated sunglasses in your helmet. Because sunglasses, you can use it when you need it, remove it when you don't need it. Peaked visor, it's different story. Tinted visor, the same story. So for me, the best option is a clear visor and integrated sunglasses. You can do it with normal sunglasses, but they will require to put it on when you need it. And when, for example, you go into a dark tunnel, you have to remove it because you're not going to see very well in the tunnel. With the integrated glasses, you just remove it, and end of the story. I still haven't got any question on the topic motorcycle traveling abroad. But any question is okay, guys. Don't worry about it. If you don't have exact question on this topic, you can ask me anything related to motorcycle traveling. Fun to ride adventure. What are the criteria that you consider in planning plan B in case of plan E failures? I never really plan a plan B, never even have like a plan B now for South America. I will rely on my possibilities to improvise. In the end, I'm coming from Bulgaria, which is East Europe. In East Europe, as you as well, from Romania, we are very, very good with improvising. So if something happens and I cannot have a plan A, I will definitely improvise and have plan B. Now for this trip, I don't have plan B. I hope that everything will be all right. Uh, and I'll be able to get there and start the trip. But if something happens and for some reason I cannot do it, then I have to improvise. That's it. Nikolai, how much do you expect to pay for visas? I don't need any visas. Actually, I need only one visa for Bolivia in South America. The rest of the countries are visas free. I don't need any visas. The visa for Bolivia will cost me around $100 and I can make it on the border. You can make it also, I can make it also online, but it will require a lot of documents and a lot of information exchange here and there. And I don't have a specific dates when I'm going to be there. So I prefer to make it on the border, even though it will cost me more, but it will be easy for me. So no visas for South America. Tenere Traveler. So many bikes now have no toolkit. What will suggest to have a beginner as a bare minimum? Hemi 450 has a complete toolkit. I think that, thanks for the question, Richard. I think that the toolkit of the Himalayan that you have, and you already told me that it has everything inside, includes the nuts for front and rear wheel and everything. It's more than enough for someone who is not a professional mechanic. So there is no point to bring a lot of tools if you cannot use it. If you don't have in the kit a key for the spark plug, I will advise to have one if you don't have it in the kit. But if you have it in the kit, it's more than enough. And if you have a specific bolts or nuts that are not in the kit, it will be good to have it. What you basically need to do is to walk around your motorcycle and see all important bolts and nuts that might require you to work on it, especially if you know how to work on it. And if you don't have it in the kit, just put it in, but not that much, because on the road you can't do much anyway. Albany, adventure can have a lot of meanings. What is that one thing that makes your adventure meaningful? All of them are meaningful for me. I enjoy every trip. It doesn't matter how good or bad it is, because every place on the earth deserves more attention. So I have my goal to see the whole world, to see every possible country, every country that will be possible for me to see it. So I don't need an additional meaning for me to travel on specific countries. All of them need to be seen. I don't have some kind of different reasons to travel, like some people have. Some people travel because they try, for example, to raise some money for cancer, for some charity or stuff like that. I don't have anything like this. I travel just because of me. I travel because I want to see this or that place. And eventually my experience might help and inspire more people to travel and have their own experiences. This is what it's about. But I do it because of me, not because of YouTube, not because of social media. I do it just because I want to do it. Tenere Traveler, motorcycle clothing is very expensive. If someone starting out cannot afford this, are there any other cheaper sources that they can start with? Of course, any motorcycle riding gear is better than no gear at all. Nowadays, you can find so many different budget and cheap options to travel. And some of them, believe it or not, are in very good quality for a very, very little price. And when I'm talking about budget, I'm saying that you can buy a motorcycle jacket, for example, for something like 150 euros or dollars or pounds, whatever it comes from. And this jacket will be perfectly fine. Of course, it's not going to be like a perfect, very quality suit that you can have for 10 times more expensive, but it will do the job just fine. It will protect you fine. It will provide the necessary comfort. The only problem that you might have might be if it starts rains, it's not going to hold that much, or maybe in long term, but definitely will help you to start traveling. And then you can realize what exactly you need when you gain some experience, what exactly you need, what will be the best option for you, because some people prefer to have different layers when they travel. Some people prefer to have Gore-Tex suite or something like that. So when you start traveling, I will advise start with the budget options and see what will be the best for you, and then you can decide it. Oh, Ismo, nice to see you, man. How are you doing? First time seeing you in my streams. Thank you very much once again for the microphone. It works perfectly. And by the way, Ismo, I tested with settings that I told you, which is mean +10 on the microphone, and it works perfectly fine. So I never tried on -12. Let's see. Cold weather gear is many times cheaper is snowmobile gear. Top tip, at least in Finland. Yeah, this could be. I understand that it's a perfect option for cold riding trips. You noticed the stream accidentally. Good. Yeah, microphone is good now. I'll keep it like that. Richard, Google Translate sign language or learn a few phrases when you're traveling abroad. Well, the best will be to learn a few phrases, but you have to keep in mind that if you know just a little bit, a few phrases, and ask the people with these phrases, they will think that you know well, and they will reply on their language usually very fast, and you're not going to understand anything. Of course, few phrases will help you a lot, but Google Translate is just help always. The best will be if you have time to do some courses to learn some languages properly, or maybe combination of all of them will be the best. Oh, the guy from South Africa. How are you, man? Bite bore alt filtrationist. Very difficult name. Bite bore. Anyway, nice to see you again. Open discussion today. Motorcycle traveling. Any question that you might have on this topic or any other questions, please go ahead. Forrest, nice to see you again. Good evening. Tenere Traveler, if motorcycle still came with a kickstart, would you tick the option? Absolutely. Kickstart, it's a perfect option to have. It might save your day and in many, many different situations. The problem with the motorcycles with engines bigger than 450 is that this kickstart, it's almost impossible task because it's going to be very difficult to start the engine with it. But yes, if it comes with it, I will be glad to have it. But just a second, Richard, not only the kickstart. Of course, I would like to have the magic button and a kickstart as an option to start the engine if I have a problem with the battery. Not only the kickstart. If this was your question, this is my answer. Okay, so got it. 12 people. Go ahead, guys. Questions? I noticed something very strange. Some of the, I will say, my colleagues, people who travel and have YouTube channels, they tend to spend a lot of time on different riding gear, changing motorcycles and all stuff like that, instead of just traveling. I don't know why is this, but my idea of traveling is just to travel. That's why I never focus so much on the motorcycle, because a motorcycle is the tool that I use to travel. But the travel is important, not the motorcycle and the gear. But everyone is different. Everyone got a different understandings of all of this. Costin, do you carry a flat tire kit with a compressor and tools? Yes, I do, Costin. On all of my trips, I have tire levers, I have a compressor, I have spare tubes and patches as well. Bite bore, yeah, backup Kickstarter on the Triumph Rocket will short your leg off. Absolutely, I agree with this. It will require a different skills just to start this engine. Alban E. Does any country stand out from the rest of Europe? If so, what country? If you mean only Europe, of course, Bulgaria, the best option to see Bulgaria. No, I cannot say one exact country. All of them are nice. From Europe, I don't know. Everyone got different preferences, but I cannot point just one that is better than every other country. If I have to say one, I'll say Bulgaria because this is just different. Richard, once I'm happy with my kit, I use until it's worn out. Absolutely, this is the best option. Just use it until it works. Dak Farhat Orzaslan. Good night from Turkey. Good night from Bulgaria. Komshu, how are you? Nasılsın komşu? Dak Farhat Orzaslan. Richard, do you have a favorite multi-tool? I use Motion Pro Trail tool. Yes, I have a multi-tool from Lederman. I like it very much. It's my favorite, always in my jacket. It helps me many times for many different tasks, and I'm gonna have it for many years. The good news for Lederman, they are expensive tools, but they have lifetime warranty. Bytebore. This week I made a leather jacket bought 20 years ago. It's still the best I have. Yeah, I will agree. Some jackets are just refuse to die. Especially if it's a good quality leather jacket, it will last for many years. I don't think that the leather jacket is the best option to travel with, but it might be for many people. The reason of that is that usually when it starts rain, they tend to soak a lot of water and became very heavy and not really waterproof. But it might work for many people. But if you have an accident and if you slide on the road, leather is probably the best solution that you might have to protect your skin. Even though nowadays the riding gear are the textile riding gear that you can buy is usually also very good in this sliding. They will help you also a lot. They will protect you a lot. But leather is leather. Whiteboard. To save weight and space, I try to carry only an exact spanners and other tools to mainly need on the bike. The reason not carry wall, the spanners. So yes, I agree. I do exactly the same like you. I just discussed it with Richard a few minutes ago, that when you have your toolkit, go around your motorcycle and see all the numbers that you have, all bolts and numbers that you have, and carry only the tools that you have on your motorcycle, nothing else. Patchet Bandit. In Europe, fantastic riding countries: Romania, Bulgaria, Greece, Croatia, Montenegro, Albania. Yes, Ismo, I agree. And if you add another 20, and it will be the whole Europe. That's why I said there is no one that is stunned from all of them. As I said, maybe Bulgaria, because it's a little bit different than any other country, but we can say exactly the same for Romania. Maybe, I don't know. Patchet Bandit, Eastern countries are amazing in general. Absolutely, absolutely, especially if you understand them. If you understand them, you'll realize that they are completely different and they can give you a lot of fun and pleasure. As I said many times, if you plan to go to Asia, for example, if you plan to cross the Bosphorus, the line between like a physical line between Asia and Europe, East European countries like Romania and Bulgaria are a perfect point to come and prepare yourself for Asia, because if you go from west to east, just like that, it will be a cultural shock. But if you stop on Romania or in Bulgaria on the road, you'll prepare yourself a little bit for what is ahead. Richard, I know you don't use travel insurance, if I remember correctly. Do you recommend others take it out? I'm happy to be corrected. Personally, I do. Yes, Richard, you're right. I don't use travel insurances. Will I recommend to others to use it? Of course, do whatever is good for you. I just don't trust them. I tried a few times, and every time when I had this type of insurance, and when I read the terms and conditions, I realized that it's almost impossible to take money from it when I need them. So I don't really trust them, but in every country, every insurance provider might be different. So read very carefully the terms and conditions and only then pay for it. Even if it costs not so many, let's say 30, 50, 60 euros, it will provide or it will insure you for 30, 50 or 50 euros. That's everything, if you understand what I mean. Yes, we're a bit different. I'll agree with this, Alban. Whiteboard. Anyone who wants some awesome adventure and on-road riding South Africa off-road and off-road experience. I never been to South Africa. I hope that I will come one day, but I can agree with you that Africa is completely different place to ride and will definitely provide you a different experience and a lot of adventure. Costin, have you been to Morocco? What are the must-see spots for motorcycle there? Yes, Costin, I have been to Morocco. Well, the must-sees are the famous towns like Marrakesh, like Ouarzazate, and a few more important and famous Arabian towns that you have to see. They have these huge markets, a lot of colors, and also different spices and fruits and all of that stuff. Definitely need to be seen. Also, the desert, the Atlas Mountains, the biggest dunes that you can see in Merzouga, and many more places to see. You can easily find it. Definitely deserve to be seen. I've been there in 2016. Will I go there again? I don't think so. I don't really like the mentality of Moroccanian people. They are too greedy for money, but the country itself is nice and definitely deserves to be seen. Also, these nomad villages that you can find in the desert here and there. It's also nice to see. Yeah, a lot of things to see. Good destination. Definitely go and see it if you have this chance. Fun to ride adventure. Is it better to buy a local GSM SIM card or roaming on other solutions when you're out of European Union? It's always better to have a local SIM card. You'll have more gigabytes of internet and it will be way more cheaper than you. Roaming is usually questionable. It's always coming with some not so understandable terms, and you might finish at home with a big bill. When I have a local SIM card, it's usually prepaid, and if I pay for it $10 or $15 or whatever I pay, I cannot spend more than that. But with the roaming, it's different story. You don't know how much exactly you're spending until you get your bill at the end of the month. So I will strongly advise, buy a local SIM card. Murat was there. Hi, Pavlin. Greetings from Antalya, Turkey. Hello, Murat. How are you doing, man? Tenere Travel. Do you have a preferred app to use when booking accommodation when traveling? Yes, when I'm in Europe or countries that support booking.com, I use Booking. In Turkey, for example, the best accommodation app was Expedia.com because Booking does not really show what they have there. In Russia, for example, last year, Bookings or Expedia does not work at all. They have just a few information things. And I used another one, Russian local site. I cannot remember the name now. That was having everything. But usually I use Booking. Murat was there. Will you camping in this South America trip? No, I'm not going to have even my tent with me, Murat. Two reasons. First is because I want to save weight, to travel as light as possible. The tent is around 5 kilograms. I don't want to have it in my luggage. Even if I use it, it will be for 1 or 2 times, and it does not worth it to have it for thousands of kilometers and never use it. The second reason is because accommodation in South America is very affordable. The prices of the hotels are between $5 and $15. So it does not worth for $10, for example, to spend the night in the tent. I will always prefer to have bed, to have a comfortable sleep, and start early morning, especially when I have to cover many kilometers. Byteboard. Often a local SIM card is the best solution. I will agree, absolutely best solution. Now, when I arrived in Colombia, I will buy a local SIM card and use it there. After that, when I move to Venezuela, I'll buy another card in Venezuela, another card in Brazil, and so on and so forth until I come back to Colombia. So I'll buy like 10 different local SIM cards, and eventually we'll have telephone and internet everywhere around. This is my plan. 17 people. I still haven't seen so many questions. Please go ahead, guys. Don't be shy. If you have any question on motorcycle traveling abroad, or any other questions, go ahead. Never forget that this stream is going to be watched from many people after that, and they might get some benefits from the questions that you might have here. Tene Traveler, will better carnet de passage for your bike for South America? Even if I had to travel with my motorcycle to South America does not require carnet de passage. Not for South America. Carnet de passage is required for Iran, for Southeast Asia, like India, Pakistan, Nepal, and all of these countries. It's also required to, I think, for Australia. Not sure about Australia, but not for South America. You can Google it, Carnet du Passage, go to their website, and there is information in what country is required. Murat Ozer, how do you gather your road and accommodation information? Are there any specific apps you use? No, they are not. I don't use a specific apps. Of course, in the big towns, you can always use something like booking.com or expedia.com. But I usually do it if I'm very close to the city, let's say 1 hour ahead, and then I can go and try to find something in booking in last moment. I don't want to book anything in advance because I don't know when exactly I will be there, and will I be there at all, because I might have a problem on the road, or I might need to change my schedule or my plans or my routes, and everything may change. Usually on the small towns and villages, once I get there, I just look around for hotels and places to sleep. If I cannot see, I'll just ask people where I can spend the night. This is what I do. I never plan everything in advance, and I never really rely on apps for accommodation. Murat Ozer, specific. What exactly do you mean? Did I reply to your? Okay, whatever. Okay, you correct the mistake that you have. Okay, understood. No, I don't use it like that. I just use the old school. Just go around, traveling around, and try to find a hotel. If I cannot find, I usually ask people where I can spend the night. Where is the hotel? Yeah. Costin, sorry if the question is too general, but what do you think are the most challenging things to watch out when you're traveling in Asia? Europe seems much easier. In Asia, the most challenging for people, especially from Western Asia, is going to be the traffic. It's like completely different world. Traffic could be a nightmare, especially in the big cities. India, Pakistan, and all of these regions, they have these huge cities with a huge population, and every traffic light, it's a madness. Like thousands of different cars, motorcycles, bicycles, rickshaws, people walking around. And maybe this is the most difficult part. But I'll tell you something, you get used to it after 3-4 days, and then everything is all right. It's scary, but it's not difficult to ride. It's scary at the beginning, but it's all right after that. This is probably the only problem that you might face to ride around Southeast Asia. Traveler, I usually carry a ratchet strap for ferry crossing. Is there anything not unusual you might carry? I don't carry anything like that because you might be right, you might need it sometimes, but usually all ferries are normal ferry lines. They have a straps, so you don't need yours. They will provide your straps and you can tie your motorcycle. But on some very small or local ferries, they might not have it. For example, in 2015, when I was crossing Caspian Sea from Baku, Azerbaijan, to Turkmenbashi, Turkmenistan, I got the ferry. That was not a usual ferry. It was not actually for motorcyclists. And me and my riding friend Dima were the first motorcyclists who ever load their motorcycles on this ferry. After that, many people did it after us, but before that, we were the first that we used this ferry at all. So they don't have any belts, any straps to attach the motorcycles. So once we arrived on the board, I asked one guy, do you have any straps or belts to tie the motorcycle? And he said, No, we don't have. You can use the chains. There were a lot of chains there, but the chains were for tightening the trucks, and one segment of the chain was that big, so I cannot tighten my motorcycle with the chain that weighs like 500 kilograms. So I need to improvise to use any kind of ropes or whatever I have just to secure the motorcycle to prevent it from tilting here and there. But it might be a good idea. On some ferries you might not have it. I just don't care because everything is additional weight and bulky stuff in my luggage. Trucks for your South America trip. Did you got visas in advance or you will get them on arrival? I don't need any visas for my South American trip. The only visa that I need will be for Bolivia, and I'm gonna do it on the border once I arrive there. The rest of the countries does not require any visas, at least for me as a European Union member or citizen. But if you're coming from a different country, might be different story. The best option will be to check with your authorities what exactly you need. Because, guys, as you already noticed, on Wednesday, I'll fly to South America. So I'm not going to do this Sunday streams anymore. Sometimes, if I have time, if I have a good internet connection, I might try to do it. But because the time difference is going to be completely different than what I have it now, I'll be more or less with a North American time. It might be very useful for some people, but completely different for others. So I might try to do it sometimes from my telephone, but I never done it from the telephone. I don't know how exactly it will work. Will it be easy for me to read the comments and talk at the same time? So I cannot promise any live streams, but I'll have them back again once I come back safe in one piece. Morato Zer, how will you be filming your trip? Do you have any logistic support at home to take care of editing, uploads, and streamings? No, I don't have anything like this, Morat Ozer. I'm gonna film everything by myself while I travel, and I'm not gonna do any editing before I get back home safe in one piece. On the road, I will upload a short, non-edited updates every few days for a few minutes, just to let you know how I am going, what is my progress, and what are the important or the things that are at the moment. But I'm not gonna upload, I'm not gonna send any files home. I will keep all the SD cards with me and I will edit it once I get back home. Richard, some of your routes will be very dusty. Do you make extra protection for the bike filter or yourself a dust? I have no yet faced this problem seriously myself. On my motorcycle, on my Tenere, I have another one pre-filter, which is like a foam that you have on the top of your filter. It protects from the dust. For these Hondas, no, we don't have anything like that. I don't know even what kind of filters they've got. I guess it's the usual paper filter. We'll try to get something like a pre-filter before we start the trip. And yes, we're going to have a lot of dusty days. And if we can improvise with some foam on the top of the filters, will be done. Don't forget that I will brought my mechanic with me on this trip, so we're gonna find some solutions. About myself, I never done everything, just close the visor, and yeah, it doesn't matter what I want or what I don't want. I will eat a lot of dust. Costin, how long will the trip to South America last, and what budget you have allocated for? I planned around 3 months. It may take a little bit more than 3 months. The budget that I estimate right now will be around 1,000 euros per month. This is my estimate budget, and I will think that we'll be all right with this, maybe a little bit more. So I think the entire time or entire trip only in South America, once I arrive there until I finish, will cost me around 3,000 to 4,000 euros raw. I cannot say exactly, but something like that. But don't forget that I always travel as cheap as possible. I always use as cheap as possible hotels. I always try to eat as cheap as possible. And I'm also invited in many places that different people will help me on the road. That's why I can rely on such a budget. But if you are not like me, if you prefer to have more comfort or better hotels, the price might be double. More about it, how much exactly I spent, I can tell you only when I get back home, not now. Alban, will there ever be reunion with Dima like in the old days around the world? I don't think so. Dima is a great guy. We're great friends. We don't have any problems between. We just don't travel together anymore. We have too many differences in our traveling, riding style, and everything like that. And I don't think that we're gonna travel again together. And he has his goals and places that he want to go. I have my goals and places that I would like to go. And for some destinations, they might be the same, but for others, they are not the same. So, for example, he spent last year a lot of time in the States, riding around the States. I don't really want to go and ride a motorcycle in the States. So, we're all different. But no, I don't think that we're going to travel again together. On some stage, we came to the part where we split each other and we don't want to ride each other anymore. And I don't think that it will happen a miracle to start riding again. I'm sorry for disappointment, but this is the situation. Costin, wow, how do you manage to keep it so cheap? I spent 3,000 euros just from Romania to North Cap in 3 weeks. It's not sure what is could you optimize apart from accommodation. Well, Costin, the best option or the best way to save money from traveling is to change the destination. From Romania to North Cap, of course, you cross some of the most expensive countries around Europe, especially Norway. So it's absolutely understandable that you spend such an amount. But in South America, as I said, hotels usually cost like $10. A good meal costs like $5. So I can almost guarantee that I'll be all right with $50 per day for everything: accommodation, petrol, food, everything. So 30 days, $50 per day, it's $1,500 per month, estimate. Yeah, no worries, Alban, no worries. This is the situation. I know that you like Dima. I like him as well. Great guy. We have a wonderful time together. Even now, when we see each other, we have a wonderful time. But we just don't travel together anymore. When people travel, they change themselves. You might be best friends, but when you travel, it's a little bit different. It might be my fault. It might be his fault. It might be the fault of all of us, both of us. I don't know. We just don't travel together anymore. I'm a person who likes to spend more time with people on the road, try to visit as many as possible people, try to have these connections everywhere. Dima, it's a little bit different. He prefers to stay alone or with me, to have a few drinks, to spend more time on different things. Everyone is different. But traveling with someone is always a compromise. I'm going to tell you how it's going to be with my riding friend, Plamen, that we'll be together now in South America. If we can still talk each other when we come back, that means the trip was good. Definitely will be nice to have someone with me, especially now on some difficult moments like Brazil that we plan to cross, but they might come with some price. Richard, my chef, calls me good night for the UK. Have a super trip. We all watch. More questions. The Mandalorian or Boba Fett? Mandalorian is my favorite. Thank you very much for coming, Richard. Thank you very much for the wishes. I'll do my best to show you South America as best as possible. Send my regards to your wife. See you. Alban, from your old videos, he seems to be a funny one. That's why I'm wondering, very shy on the camera. Yeah, he's a great guy. Shy on the camera, of course, because his English is not so good. Not that mine is so good, but his is even worse than mine. And of course, when you cannot really speak, especially in front of camera, it's normal to be shy. In real life, he's not shy. He's not shy at all. Even that his English is not so good, he always tries to communicate with people when he has this chance. So he's a great guy, but this is the way. Exactly. Mandalorian. Boba Fett, it's a little bit different character. Mandalorian is more like a soldier, real soldier. $50 minutes. Guys, I'm going to give you 10 more minutes and then I'm going to end the stream here. It's a Sunday evening. I'm sure that we have a better things to do. So if you have more questions, now is the moment. Go ahead. These are my flights, schedule for my flights. Nothing I can do about it. Like 2 days flying, man, it's a lot. Especially the last flight from Madrid to Bogota, 10.5 hours. Nothing I can do about it. Nothing I can do about it. No more questions? Don't be shy. All right, guys, if you don't have any more questions, then I'm going to end the stream. Thank you very much for coming tonight. Thank you very much to all of you for the good questions. As I said, they might be very useful for many people after that. Oh, I have a new person here. Kjedil Johansen. I got my Touareg. My plan is to make a little stiffer, just like your Yamaha. Definitely will improve it, especially if you're a heavy guy. To improve the suspension will help you a lot. Even if you're not heavy, it will help you to have a better experience with your motorcycle. Thank you very much, Forrest. You haven't got any questions tonight. I hope that everything is good for you. So thank you once again to all of you guys to coming tonight, having these questions, and provide this information for many people that will watch the stream. As I already told you, I will try to do a stream when it's possible, but if not, I will continue doing this streams and this connection with you guys once I got back home. Thank you very much for Kjedil Johansen. Fun to write adventure. Albany, thank you to all of you guys. Albany, I will definitely send this to Patron. Morato there, all of you guys. Thank you very much. Keep riding, keep smiling, and see you somewhere on the road. Bye-bye.